Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the privilege of borrowing Lee's Omega Seamaster and his blue dial Tudor Pelagos. Sorry. And one of you saw me giving a first look at those two watches yesterday, and you said, "McMahon, you're out of breath." Of course I was out of breath. I'm holding these gorgeous Swiss luxury watches. So what watch would I choose? So I wore the Omega yesterday. I wore it to work, wore it with a black t-shirt. I didn't teach. I just had some meetings I had to go to and some office hours. And wore the Omega. And what did I think of it? So, wearing it, I want to first say some things I like about the Omega and then say some things I don't like about it. What I like about the Omega, you put it on, and now you got to realize with tax out the door, these are $5,000. And what I like about it, it is a rich watch. You feel rich. You feel like you're in the rich man club. You have swag. And some people are going to say, well, that's superficial. Trying to be part of the rich man's club with some high status watch. And I have a rebuttal to that. You know what I say? Dude, you just spent $5,000 on a watch. Why not feel like you're part of the rich man's club? I mean, don't take yourself seriously. Don't think you're better than other people, but my Lord, man, you spent $5,000 on a watch. So if you want to feel rich, feel rich. And I have to say, wearing this to my meeting, I felt rich, even though I wasn't even dressed up. I was wearing jeans and a black t-shirt to the meeting, as everyone else was pretty much. And so this Omega Seamaster, oh, come on, focus, McMahon, don't do that. Focus is going to jack you up. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone, man. It wants to be left alone. It definitely has swag and richness. The other thing I like about this Omega is the dial. The dial is just absolutely dynamic and in various lights. I love the wave pattern. And the dial, I love the Omega name. I do. I like the name Omega. I just like to say Omega. It sounds like it has a lot of gravitas to it. In fact, I gave the word gravitas to Rafi, and he trademarked it for when he makes his own watches. And so I definitely like the blue color. I like the comfort. It's very wearable. I can wear this thing every day. This is a watch for the guy who has $5,000 to spend, and he's going to wear it every day. It's going to be his signature watch, and that's fine. Would I buy the watch? No, I wouldn't buy it. Not personally. $5,000 is too much for me. This is worth to me about $2,500 looking at it. I've got some big complaints about it. I call this a Frankenstein watch. What I mean is the parts are very beautiful, but the sum of the parts don't add up. It's got too many inconsistencies. I don't like the bracelet. The bracelet just seems very low end for Omega. Omega could do so much better for a $5,000 watch. Don't like the style of the bracelet. It doesn't feel like a premium bracelet experience. But interestingly enough, it's not even the bracelet that I'm complaining about the most. It's the bezel. The bezel does not feel premium. It doesn't engage well. I can barely move it. I don't like it at all. There's no way I'm spending $5,000 on this watch with the bezel. It's not happening. I can barely, ladies and gentlemen, I'm struggling. I'm sweating, okay? I just ran a marathon. This is crazy, okay? I gotta get the bezel. Yeah, the bezel engagement is not premium. No, there's no way. I can't deal with a bezel. Great watch, rich, comfortable, could wear it every day. Would never spend $5,000 on it. I think it's worth about $2,500. I have my SLA 051s coming in the mail today. The SLA 051 blows this away. I'll take that over this any day. All right, now let's look at the Tudor. Of the two, you know, when I first got these two watches, that Lee surprised me with a surprise package from Lee. And my first impression was that the Omega is richer, it's shinier, it's more of a shiny object. But it didn't take long for me to figure out that if I was going to spend $5,000 on a watch, Tudor all day long, I have no doubt in my mind. So why because the Omega lacks something that you have to have for a $5,000 watch, and I call it watch integrity, which means all the parts are consistent and they add up as a whole. And this Tudor, I think they succeeded in making the bracelet complement the dial, and I love the way the white lume markers contrast with the very peaceful blue. It's very comfortable. Even though I'm not a fan of titanium, I want to tell you guys something. Feeling this titanium and looking at it, there's nothing cheap about it. Sometimes titanium feels cheap. There's nothing cheap about this Tudor. And the bracelet, the bezel, the lume, everything is. I'll wear this over the Omega. If I'm going to spend $5,000, is the Tudor worth $5,000? I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I've had the Tudor Black Bay 41, and those are about $34. This is $5. I think the Tudor Black Bay 41 is just richer. It's a better value. However, my reptile brain likes this Tudor more. I'll tell you why. I think this Pelagos is going to withstand scratches better than that Black Bay 41 has that huge slab of a case, really high polish. And 2 of you at least, maybe 3 of you, have commented to me, yeah, I got the Tudor Black Bay. And you breathe on it, man, and you can see scratches, hairline scratches forming on that case. Let me tell you something. My reptile brain doesn't like breathing hairline scratches on the case of my $5,000 watch. Or in the case of the Tudor Black Bay, those are about $3,400. So, and then, some of you say, oh, yes, the battle scar scratches, man, you got to get used to it. No, not me. I'm not doing it. But so in some ways, it's almost better just for my anxieties to get, if I was going to choose between the 2 Tudors, just to get this one, because I don't think it's going to scratch. There's no scratches on this nice case. Also, I must say the proportions on this Pelagos look a little better than the Tudor Black Bay 41. The Black Bay 41 is kind of weird. I like it, but the slab is really thick, and then there's the vertical shape of the case is kind of oblong. I don't know, man. This is more of a perfect shape, less showy than the Black Bay 41. Okay, come on, don't do that. And so this to me is a better choice than the Omega. I know it's not going to have the rich club appeal of the Omega, but I mean, I want watch integrity. And but I mean, I don't know if I could buy it. I mean, I'm happy enough, and I know you guys are killing me because I put a straight edge bracelet on my SLA 055 by Seiko. But okay, this watch, I have to confess, I like wearing it more than the 2 Swiss watches I just showed you. I wish I could show you the lugs here. They are so beautifully made here. The execution it's insane. The level of refinement and the beauty of the shape of those lugs. And then the dial. I'm typing at my computer and I can't stop staring at the dial, which is the most dynamic dial and beautiful dial I've ever seen. This is rich enough for me. I don't know. And this is not cheap either. This costs what a Tudor Black Bay 41 costs. There's a 34 at Noman out the door. So these are not cheap. And maybe I'll take the straight edge off of it and put a sailcloth strap, or put it back on the Tropic. I don't know. Eventually, maybe even put it on an oyster straight. I don't know. But I am absolutely in love with this watch. I'm still as in love with it as much as when I first got it.